everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Born on March 26, 1874, in San Francisco, California, Robert Frost was a 20th century American poet known for his realistic portrayal of rural New England life and his command of colloquial American speech. He published his first books in England before finding widespread fame in the United States, earning four Pulitzer Prizes for his work. His most famous poems, such as The Road Not Taken and Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, explored complex philosophical and social themes through the lens of everyday life. Frost's enduring legacy solidified him as one of America's most celebrated poets. The poem consists of four stanzas, each stanza having 5 lines, making it a total of 20 lines poem. Introduction to the poem. The Road Not Taken is a famous 1916 poem by American poet Robert Frost, exploring the theme of choice and its consequences through the metaphor of traveler choosing between two paths in a yellow wood. Published in Mountain Interval, the poem uses a controversial tone, an ABAAB rhyme scheme, and four stanza structure to depict a moment of decision making and the inevitable what if questions about the untaken path that follow. Though often misinterpreted as a call to individuality, the poem is more about the ambiguous feelings such as wistfulness or regret that accompany life's choices. The speaker encounters a fork in a path during autumn, symbolizing a life choice, and reflects on the decision to take a seemingly less traveled road that ultimately shaped their destiny. The first stanza describes the dilemma at the fork and the inability to take both paths. The second stanza details the initial choice of a second road, which appeared less worn but was actually quite similar to the first. The third stanza noted that the first part was left untrodden that day, with the speaker acknowledging they likely would never return to try it. The final stanza reveals the speaker's future recollection of this choice, claiming with a sigh to have taken the less traveled road and that this decision was responsible for all the difference in their life. Stanza wise explanation. The first stanza says, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Explanation. The speaker stands at a junction in a yellow wood, signaling autumn, where a path has split into two. As a single traveler, they cannot take both roads. They look down on one path as far as they can, but it bends and disappears into the undergrowth. This represents the initial contemplation of choices and the unknown future associated with each path. The second stanza of the poem says, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Explanation. The speaker then decides to take the other path, initially thinking it has perhaps the better claim, because it looks grassy and wanted wear. However, the speaker immediately moderates his thought, admitting that paths have warned them really about the same. This suggests that the distinction between the paths may not have been as significant as the speaker initially perceived. The third stanza, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how ways leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back. Explanation. The speaker clarifies that both paths that morning were equally covered in undisturbed leaves, confirming that no one had yet walked on either roads that day. The speaker decides to save the first part for another day, though they quickly realize that one road leads to another, making it unlikely they will never ever return to take the first part. The final stanza: I should be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Looking ahead, the speaker anticipates recounting the story with a sigh, claiming to have chosen the path less traveled, which has made all the difference. This final stanza highlights the human tendency to attribute profound significance to past decisions, even if the choices were less distinct at the time. The message of Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, is that the choices we make in life, even seemingly minor ones, significantly shape our future and who we become, often leading us to reflect on those choices with a mix of satisfaction and wistfulness about the paths we didn't take. The poem highlights the importance of individuality, the inevitability of consequences, and the human tendency to idealize the choice not made. The list of difficult words in the poem are given below, respectively, with their meanings. You all can go through these meanings for a better understanding of the poem. So, this is the end of the video. Hope you all understood the poem. And please stay tuned for getting further more knowledge in English literature. And thank you.